Question. And all that we did, meeting in my basement, going to the city hall, trying to get people to let us play in the league, trying to find money under rocks and then behind corners. And winning championships, what is your favorite GSA memory?
A lot of memories. It's hard to pick just one. But what I remember most is the prayer. Our players praying
That's
in
right.
the games. Making sure that no matter what, if we won, if we lost, we always gave thanks.
That's right.
Building that foundation for the boys.
That's right.
But with that, you talk about being in your basement. You talk about going to City Hall. All the times they told us no. All the times we were like, okay, well, what are we going to do next? So those are the things that like stick with me, and those are the things that help drive me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's beautiful and great memories.
Yep.
And as you say, there are so many.
Yep.
Which leads me, though, to another question. So, this organization had success that organizations that have been around for 60 years haven't had. And in particular, we had 4 championships in a 5-year run. Your son and mine played on teams that won championships 3 years in a row, back to back to back. So when you consider that, I want you to put in context, what is it about our organization that we created and the seeds that we planted in our kids that allowed them to have that kind of success? If you could crystallize that, what was it that allowed us to be so successful?
I feel like when you decided to start GSA, you wanted to
It was
start
we.
An organization that was different, right? Because you could have taken any of those young men and done whatever you wanted to do because the parents trusted you, the kids trusted you, but you said, I want to be able to do my own thing, and what you were trying to drive was character. Right? You wanted to
That's
make
right.
sure that when people left this organization, you were raising young men, not people that knew how to play football.
That's right. That's
not,
right.
Not athletes.
Not many people know that.
Yes, you were really driving an organization that was about the whole person, and you were concerned about people's grades. You were concerned about their safety, their welfare, if they were okay at home or not. And those were the things that you couldn't do outside of GSA. That's why you created GSA.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
right.
why I backed it, right? So when you think about it like that, for me, it was that character that you built in not just the boys, but families.
Right.
We became a family.
We did.
Right.
And that's one of the things that as I've interviewed people today, that theme has cut across every conversation, whether it be the kids, the coaches, or the players, the parents. So it leads me to another question. Now that GSA, the brand, is going to be retired, and we have, and I'm going to say, fulfilled a calling, because as you and I talked many times early on, this was something for me that was way bigger than football, and I really felt a calling, still do, quite honestly, and which made it very difficult for me to walk away from and retire the brand. But as we walk away, what do we want people to remember? What do you want people to say about GSA 5 years from now when we've moved on and our kids are graduated from college and a conversation starts up about youth football in Atlanta? What do you want them to say about GSA?
I think GSA is going to speak for themselves, right? I think that these young men that are graduating, these young men that have spent time with you, that have spent time as part of this organization, it becomes ingrained in them. I know with my son, he hasn't played for GSA for a little while now because he played in high school. He played for his high school. My son still has his ring. My son still has his jacket. My son still talks about GSA. So when you start talking about their success, when they start thinking about their success, when they start doing interviews, because they're now senators or they're now attorneys and they're now people that our communities
right.
look up to, they are going to talk about GSA.
That's right.
They're not going to just talk about themselves. So I think that GSA will want to speak for itself. I think that people will know GSA by the character of the people that we built, the young men that grow up that start GSAs. Somebody's going to pick up this brand.
It's funny you say that, but I don't know who it is, but I have that feeling.
Somebody's going to pick this up, right? I think that you're taking a rest for now, but I think that, years and years from now, that there will be a common theme that you raised men of character, that you raised people that care, because these boys haven't seen each other. Some of them haven't seen each other in years.
That's right.
And they're hugging and they're excited and they're like, hey, can you come over? That's something that you don't let go of.
Yes.
So when they are grown, they're going to talk about GSA. People are going to know GSA by the way that they go out into society and how they act and how they treat people and how they begin to raise up their communities and their own families.
And there is
So-
greatness amongst these boys.
Oh, without a doubt.
I'm speaking that
doubt.
now. There is greatness in this circle of young men,
Without
and it's
a
not
doubt.
even necessarily confined to the football field.
I agree.
So.